Hey guys, welcome back to another video. You join me once again down here at Daytona in Sandown Park. I'm here today to race against some of my subscribers, friends, Instagram followers who have come down here off the back of my last video. Once again, it's been 2 sellout sessions, so super excited about today. People like Petrol Ped are also coming down and a number of other professional racing car drivers, and I've heard some Club 100 go-karters are going to be in the second session, so it's going to be a tough evening. Before everybody arrives, I want to tell you about a little promotion that Daytona have got running through August. It's called Beat an F1 Driver, and that's essentially what you're trying to do. They've had a number of different F1 drivers come to all of their venues across the country and post some pretty interesting and ridiculous lap times. What I'm going to be doing today is actually pitching myself against one of Carlos Sainz's lap times, but not his absolute fastest lap time, because I wouldn't have a chance against that, and it's just not fair, especially being 6'4" and weighing over 100 kilos. So what they've actually done to make it fair for everyone and make it realistic and achievable is use one of his average lap times. If I do manage to beat Carlos's 47.540 lap time, which is achievable, then I will go into a draw to win 2 tickets to next year's British Grand Prix. That's a pretty exciting prize. All you guys and girls need to do is turn up to one of their practice sessions at one of Daytona's venues across the country, whether it's in their Sodi karts or my favourite, the D-Max karts, which are just behind me, and actually beat one of their representative times. Here, I'm going against Carlos Sainz, but anywhere else, say Tamworth, you'll be going against another F1 driver who's posted an equally impressive time, but a time that is definitely beatable. Otherwise, what would be the point? We're not going to beat like one of the world's best F1 drivers. I'm certainly not going to. So I think I should go and get in my suit, not that I want to on a beautiful day like this, and see what I can do lap time wise. And you'll join me afterwards, and then everyone should be arriving and we'll head out and see if I can place anywhere against all of these other awesome people that are coming down to challenge me. Well, that was fun. I had about 20 odd minutes out there, and I honestly had no idea what my lap times were. And I can tell you that on my second to last lap, I managed to beat Carlos Sainz's average lap time. That means that I'm now going to go into a draw to win these 2 tickets to the British Grand Prix next year. Whether or not I'll win it, I don't know, but you got to be in it to win it. So that's super exciting. And I urge you guys to come down, whether it's here at Sandown or Milton Keynes or Tamworth, and try to beat their respected F1 lap times. Right, now I've got about an hour to get my energy back before everyone else turns up and we get into the Joe Achilles go-kart evening. So that's going to be super excited. We have actually just announced another date for that. So 26th of August, I'll put the details below in a pinned comment and in the description. Come down and join me, see if you can beat me in a kart. As I'm probably going to find out tonight, I'm going to get my ass beaten, but that's all part of the fun of it, and I encourage you to do that. And also Petrol Ped is going to be here tonight, as I mentioned earlier on in the intro, so come down here and see if you can beat Petrol Ped. I will see you in the kart very soon. This looks a bit familiar. In fact, he looks quite familiar.
Hey!
Mr. Petrol Ped himself.
Finally made it, mate.
Yeah. Rick the Spud. How's it going, mate?
Like and subscribe.
Patrick! Okay guys, so we're just heading in now. The 6:30 session, which is the first one's going to be pretty full on. Yeah, lots of very fast people here. Is that flashing?
It is indeed.
Excellent.
On, yeah.
Okay guys, you join me here at the start of race 1 of the evening of the 22nd of July. This is race 1 of 2 and I'm just getting in the cart. We've just had our 10-minute qualifying session and I actually managed to qualify 5th. So you see me now lining up for the start of the actual race. It's a rolling start, as it always is with the D-Max races at Daytona. Just pretending to warm up my tyres here and also bashing into my good mate Daniel Mitchell on the left there, who qualified just behind me in 6th. And there's Patrick Whelan, I think he qualified 8th. We're all very close. Top couple of guys are GT3 racers, so we've got Phil Quaife and Oliver Bryant up front. Right, I actually managed to get a very good start here. Sometimes the D-Max two-stroke carts bog down and other times they don't like that. And I actually almost sent it down the inside of Ollie there. And I went from 5th up till 3rd position by turn 2, as you can see there. Kart was understeering all over the place because at this early stage in the race you've just got no heat in the tyres whatsoever. Fast forward to about lap 4 or 5 here and you can see my friend Graham Toyne coming through and taking 3rd place. Couldn't really put much of a fight up and it wasn't really worth it, to be fair, because he's faster than me and it was better having him in front and me effectively trying to keep up. Again, couple of laps on, you can see Graham's pulled away a little bit in front of me and Simon Lang's just come through. So Simon's up into 4th, I think that's where he qualified, and I'm back down to 5th place, which is where I qualified. So effectively, I think we're more or less all in our qualifying positions now. So I really wanted to hang on to Simon for as much of this race as I possibly could, and that's kind of what happened. The top 3 kind of disappeared into the distance, and Simon and I spent most of the race battling each other. We're just catching up some back markers here, which allowed me to pull a cheeky little move, but didn't last for long because there he is back down the inside. And in fact, Simon did a video of the day, and that's on his YouTube channel as well, so I'll put a link to that below because it's a great alternative perspective to the race. Now there you can see me getting a big moment, and it was actually partly due to Paul Joslin coming down the inside. We just made small contact, and sometimes when you do that the carts get tangled up, so it was neither of our faults. It was like an incident, racing incident. But thankfully I didn't spin and Paul got through, but I managed to nab back through again. And again, now you'll see that Paul and I actually spend the majority of the race battling it out for 5th place effectively. So here I am chasing him down a few laps later as we go past the back marker. Alternative ways around. I love racing when you're coming up to back markers, whether you're on your own or whether you're battling with someone else like I am. But what actually happens is Paul and I slowly pull Simon back into the picture again. So there is Simon now. So it becomes a bit of a 3-way battle really for the rest of the race. Also, Paul is a pro sim racer and he has an alternative video on his channel as well. So I'll link that below because it's really interesting. I've watched both of their videos and obviously I feature in sections of it, especially Paul's, because he spends a lot of the race just behind, like literally on my bumper. So it's like an alternative. It's like my own personal cameraman. Here I managed to get through to 4th, and the very next corner I went wide and went back down to 6th and then back up to 5th here. So you can see how quickly things can change and you can see how close the race was. This is right towards the end of the race and there's literally half a second between the 3 of us, which is just awesome racing. It was such a good evening. That's me going over the finish line, and here's Paul. As I say, he was right on my bumper, giving him a high five there. And what we didn't realise was my good buddy Daniel Mitchell was literally a couple of tenths behind Paul. So really it was more of a 4-way battle. And in fact, behind Daniel, Harvey Stanley was just behind him, and then Patrick Whelan, my good friend, was just behind Harvey. So there was quite a few of us in a bunch. The winner was Phil Quaife in the end, pro driver, and Oliver Bryant was second, with Graham Toyne in in third place. So it was a very close race. The top three, or the top two, were very close. And then, from sort of third down to about eighth was extremely close. So very, very good race. On to race number 2. Okay, here we go, race 2. So we've just had 10 minutes of qualifying, and I put it in 7th place, which I didn't think was too bad, because about 3 or 4 of the guys up front are all Club 100 regular top runners, so proper karters, all 30-35 kilos lighter than me. So yeah, a good second at least every single lap quicker than I can achieve. So those guys were gone, and off the start you can see I've actually got a really poor start this time. Bogged down, and I actually went back to 9th for a millisecond then. Thankfully clawed it back to 8th place, and pretty much spent most of the race in 8th spot, just behind kart 133, which belonged to Craig, South African guy, who is also a fellow M2 competition owner in Hockenheim Silver. So literally spent the 25-minute race, following him, trying to find a way past. He was definitely just quicker in the straights. I just could not get close to him on the straights. Through the corners, I'd close up to him, but I just was never close enough to send one down the inside. As you can see here, just pulls a couple of kart lengths on me along the straight. So it was frustrating, but at the same time it was fun, and it just meant that I had to keep a calm head and really maximise everything I could, and any little opportunity be as smooth as I could. In fact, I sent it down the inside here. There wasn't really a gap, and we collided a little bit, so I backed off and let him back through. Maybe I should have been more competitive and not done that, but I'm sure he would have found the way back through again if I didn't. So yeah, it was a fun race for just passing a back marker here, but reasonably quick back marker. If it wasn't for Craig, I think it would have been a bit of a lonely race. I think Alex Summers was just down the road in front of him somewhere. So we spent most of the race kind of on our own, effectively, just catching back markers. But it was fun because we both have very different lines and completely different techniques almost in the kart. So it allowed us to sort of play cat and mouse. I managed to sneak it through there, but sacrificed my exit speed, and because he's a bit lighter and he got a better exit, it's straight back pass again in turn 1. So I think that was my biggest opportunity of finishing in front of him. And nothing ventured, nothing gained. So again, catching back markers here, really my only opportunity to sort of send one down the inside. And he's just on the outside there, which then becomes the inside. He runs it out wide. I get a better exit, but once again, can't really do much. His defensive line down there from him, so just didn't allow me to get through. So fair racing, and we're just coming across the finish line now. And I think we finished in 7th and 8th, or it might have been 6th and 7th. I can't actually find the results, but it was very close. The Club 100 guys were miles down the road. We expected those guys to absolutely smoke us. But it was a great day's racing again. And watching it back, it's just as enjoyable almost as being out there. Certainly a lot easier commentating than actually being out there and doing 2 sessions in a row. There's the top 3 guys, giving them a thumbs up. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully see you at the next karting evening on the 26th of August. I think we're going to try and run 3 sessions there. Come down, see if you can beat me and Petrol Ped, plus many, many others. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.